I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of fucking hate comments all over this video. But don't take it personal if I fucking put one of your favorite comedians in the trash or overrated file. So it's pretty standard. We have God, God. We have S, A, B, and C, and of course trash / overrated. Now God, I'm pretty much only gonna give 1 to maybe 2 people God status. S is pretty much like you're pretty close to being a fucking god. And A is also solid, B is also solid, C is like and trash. We already know what that means. Alright, let's get into it. Right off the fucking bat, we'll mix it up a little bit. We're gonna let's go fucking Gerard Carmichael. We'll start with Gerard Carmichael. We'll give him an A. Actually, we might even give Gerard a B. We'll give Gerard a B. I feel like that feels more comfortable. If you don't know who Gerard Carmichael is, he's actually pretty fucking funny. But I don't think he deserves an A. Definitely does not deserve an S. But he's not bad enough to where you can put him in a C. He had a Netflix special. It was like a Netflix show, sorry. He had a Netflix series. That was actually pretty fucking good. But he's pretty early into his career still. I think he's only been doing stand-up for like 8 years or something. But he's only been famous for like 4, which is kind of crazy. It's still too early to put him anything above any of this, and I don't think he's good enough yet to be in an A or an S. So B's fair for Gerard Carmichael. We also have some females in here. I forgot to mention. We're gonna put Kathy Griffin above Gerard Carmichael. I'm gonna give her an A. She's actually pretty fucking funny. Honestly, out of all the females in here, she's easily one of the most funniest out of all of them, in my opinion. Do Hannibal Buress. Hannibal Buress, we're actually gonna put Hannibal above Kathy because he's fucking hilarious. Jimmy Carr. I'm gonna put Jimmy above Kathy but below Hannibal. I feel like that's fair. And this is gonna be a big surprise to some people, but I'm gonna give Aziz the overrated / trash. Aziz, in my opinion, is fucking garbo. Oh my god. My mouse just died. Alright, who's next? We're gonna give Joey Diaz. I'm gonna put Joey above all of them. I feel like that's correct. Joey Diaz is funnier than everybody on this list so far. I don't feel like he's an S class yet. His stand-up comedy is nowhere near as good as his just storytelling. Like his regular casual conversation is some of the funniest shit you will ever hear ever. But as far as stand-up goes, he doesn't really translate that very well into his stand-up, in my opinion. He very easily could be S class if he was able to transfer his story. Like when he's on Joe Rogan, or when he has his own podcast too. When he's on there and he's just telling stories, he's S class. He might even be fucking god tier. But when he does stand up, he doesn't really translate that well. And honestly, it's kind of hard to translate a regular conversation that comes so casually to you into stand up form, But he is an A. He should probably be an S class. If you put him in S, I honestly wouldn't really disagree with that. As far as the first S, we're gonna give the first S to Bill Burr. I feel like there's not much anybody can really say to contest this. In my opinion, he's not God. There is one God in here. Bill Burr is fucking hilarious. His show is also hilarious. We don't really need to say much about that. We're gonna give the next one Trevor Noah, going straight into the fucking garbo. Who else? We're gonna give the second S to Rick. We're gonna give the second S to Chris Rock. My opinion, I think Chris Rock's funnier than Bill Burr. Sorry, but dude, these are some of the funniest guys on fucking earth. Chris Rock, he's in a league of his own, to be honest. Like, well, not really, because he's in a fucking league with Bill Burr, but he's fucking hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Who's next? We're gonna give Amy Schumer. Straight into the fucking garbage you go. And you know what? Actually, Aziz is above both of them. Yes, that's correct. Amy Schumer, so far, the absolute worst that is on this list. Next, we're gonna give to Ricky Gervais. I'm gonna give Ricky a solid B. I'm gonna put him above Gerard Carmichael. Jim Jeffries. I'm gonna give Jim Jeffries. I'm gonna put him above Hannibal, but below Joey. Honestly, he could be above Joey. He could be S tier, to be honest. But I'm gonna keep him there for now. I might change my mind later, but I'm gonna keep him there for now. Who's next? Eddie Murphy, S tier. I mean, shall I say more? Ellen DeGeneres, the first C tier. Yeah, she was honestly very close to going into the trash, but I was like, she has some moments, right? She has some moments. Who's next? I'm gonna give it to Robin Williams, going into C tier next. My opinion, he's better at acting than he is at telling jokes. He's funnier acting than he is when he's like doing stand-up. And while we're on that same subject, I'll give Jim Carrey the same thing. But I think Robin Williams is slightly funnier. Actually, if we're talking about just stand-up, Robin Williams is funnier than Jim Carrey. But Jim Carrey is funnier at acting, if that makes sense. Alright, so for the first God tier, and probably the only God tier, unless I change my mind later on, is Dave Chappelle. I mean, shall I fucking say any more? Dave Chappelle is, without a doubt, the funniest stand-up comedian to ever do it. That's it. Like, that's fucking it. Without a doubt, the funniest. I don't even think I need to say anymore. If you disagree, watch Kill Him Softly. Watch his new stuff that's out. It's actually pretty good too. He's a fucking god. That's all I can really say. He's a fucking god. Alright, back to the list. Bill Cosby. Putting him into the trash. Putting him into trash / overrated. And in fact, I think Amy Schumer's better. Yeah. Now, I never really liked Bill Cosby. I watched the Cosby Show when I was a kid, and even as a kid, I was like, this guy's strange. I just never found him funny. I didn't really like him. I didn't like the way he spoke. You know, the poop pop pop poop. Something about that was just weird. I was just like, I'm not fucking with it. Sarah Silverman, solid. She's an A tier. We have 2 females in A tier. Sarah Silverman's solid A. She's also like the most attractive female comic I think ever. Yeah, ever. Cat Williams. This is a hard one. I think this is the hardest decision out of all of these. Cat Williams, because Cat Williams is S tier, but god damn did he fall down into like B tier. He might get like low A or like high B. I think Cat Williams deserves a high B. 2009 Cat Williams, fucking S tier. If we're talking about 2009 Cat Williams, I can put him above Bill Burr. Not above Chris Rock, but above Bill Burr. That's where I would put him. But now, dude, his last special, dude, that was rough. Like for 15 minutes, he was talking about God. He didn't even say a joke. He was just like, Jesus. And it was just weird, dude. It was just so weird. I could give him an A. Honestly, we're going to leave him there, but I don't know. I might change it later. Kevin Hart. I'm going to give Kevin an A. And I'm going to put him under Jim Jeffries. Under Jim Jeffries, but above Hannibal. I think that's fair. You know, in my opinion, Kevin Hart is kind of overrated. And here's why. Let me break it down. The reason Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart is the reason he's the most successful stand-up comedian that will probably ever live is because he appealed to everyone. And in order to do that, you have to tread very lightly. The people that are like B and up, all of their jokes are based around other people. You know, they're based around making fun of other people. out of everyone on this list, Kevin Hart is the only one that does self-deprecating comedy, you know, besides Ricky Gervais. But Kevin Hart takes it to another level. You know, like, that's all the jokes that he does. He doesn't do really much offensive jokes at all. You know, and because of that, he appeals to everyone, and they kind of just like him like that. You know, he doesn't really, like, cross too many shallow waters. You know, he did earlier in his career. That's when, in my opinion, that's when he was the funniest. So the reason Kevin Hart is in this list, the reason I gave Kevin Hart the rating I gave him is because Kevin Hart deserves an S, but in order to be as successful as he is, in order to get paid that level, in order to keep doors open, he has to remain neutral. He has to constantly be putting out whatever content, whatever stand-up material he's putting out, it's all self-deprecating content. You know, none of it is really offensive, you know? And because of that, he's able to keep a very neutral stance in the media, and he's able to, you know, play the game, essentially, you know? Whereas certain comics like Patrice O'Neal, who burnt all of his bridges and closed all of those doors, because of that, he was able to be himself. But at the same time, a lot of people did not fuck with Patrice, you know, and because a lot of people didn't fuck with him, he didn't get the credit that he deserved. Where's Joe Rogan? Holy shit. I had him. I think his image didn't save. Hold on. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Let's get Joe Rogan. I'll get this one. Fuck, I don't think I can add him. Edit. Can I? Shit. Fuck. Holy shit, I did not just do that. Alright. I think I did it correctly. Alright, so we're back. Sorry, I had to re-change this. I tried to edit it. I forgot to add Joe Rogan. He's right here. And while I was editing it, I exited out of it and none of it saved. So I had to reconfigure it. So if you see the list looking a little bit different, it's because I just had to change it again. But this is the new list. I tried to match as much as possible, but this is what I feel now. Anyways, back. Yeah, so Kevin Hart was the last one we did. Next one, let's do Patrice. Oh my god. I'm giving Patrice an S. Actually, I'm putting him below Chris Rock, but I'm putting him above Bill Burr. Patrice, dude. Patrice, out of everyone on this entire list, Patrice is the most slept on stand-up comedian of all time. If you're not watching Patrice O'Neal, you're fucking sleeping. Oh my god, first of all, the guy's literally a fucking genius when it comes to females. And if you watch the Black Phillip show, you will fucking, it's not even a show, it's a YouTube channel. Go to the Black Phillip YouTube channel and watch every single video on there. Oh my god. Anyways, I could talk about Patrice for a very long time. Let's keep it going. Who's next? Let's do Joe Rogan since he's the reason we fucked all this list up. I'm putting Joe Rogan as an A, and I'm putting him above Joey Diaz. Now, as far as stand-up goes, Joe Rogan, fucking hilarious. But if we're talking about storytelling and just casual conversation, Joey Diaz is... Actually, you know what? I'm putting Joey above him. I'll change my mind. And I might even put Jim Jeffries above Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's above Kevin Hart. Do I agree with that? No, actually, I don't think I do. There. I think I like that better. Yes. Yes, I like this better. Yes, I do. That's a good spot for Joe. This is a solid list right here. Dude, just because you're an A doesn't mean you're bad. Like, these are fucking legendary comics. You know, it's just that these guys are better. S tier. Louis C.K. Louis C.K.'s S tier. You know, yes, he is jerking, and yes, he got caught jerking off in front of people. But you know what? That doesn't discourage. We're talking about the man's work, the quality of work this man puts out. That's what we're talking about. All right, we're not talking about who he likes to jerk off in front of. You know, who's next? This guy, fucking Buns. Bill Cosby's getting put up in front of him. This guy is easily the worst comic I think I've ever seen ever. I remember when I used to watch, like back in the day, there wasn't no YouTube. Like there was YouTube, but nobody was uploading, so TV was literally everything. And Comedy Central would have these they would pretty much air like club shows where they would like just videotape and just put it on TV of just comics going on. And every time this guy came on, I just skipped it. I changed the channel. This guy was the absolute least funniest person I think on this entire list. And I think he made more money than most of the people, like most people on here, besides like Kevin Hart, and Joe Rogan, and you know these fuckers. But he's made a lot of money, dude. All right, Andrew Schultz. If you're not listening to Andrew Schultz, you're fucking sleeping. Honestly, I'm putting Andrew Schultz right there. Maybe right there. Yeah, I'm putting Andrew Schultz right there. He's not better than Coco yet. He might be, actually. I don't know. I'm putting him right there. Let's put him right there. Out of everyone on this list, Andrew Schultz I cannot give an S to, and I cannot give God to, but I think in fucking a couple of years he's gonna be there. Like, it's just too early for him. He's like 4 years into being like up there. You know, he's like 4 years ago Andrew Schultz was a nobody. Now he's somebody, and not only that, but this guy's really fucking good. Like, he's really good. He's in 2 years he's gonna be S class. And in 5 to 10 years, he might even be fucking God level with Chappelle. This guy's fucking slept on. He's really good. You know what? I'm putting him above Coco. Sorry, Coco. He's really good. Out of everyone on this list, he's putting out the most consistent content. Mainly because, like, I'll take that back. Never mind. But he's solid. All right. Now I'll get into some of these. All right. So we got Gabriel Iglesias S class, and I'm putting him below Louis. I'm putting him below Louis. S class. I mean, I'm not even gonna say much else about S. I'm not even gonna say much else about that. Gabriel Iglesias deserves S class. He won Last Comic Standing, if I remember correctly. I also met this guy in person. He's actually really fucking chill. All right, George Carlin, putting him above Eddie Murphy, but below Bill Burr. Yeah, I said it. This guy's a fucking legend. I should have got a better picture too, but you know, whatever. Fucking legend. Can't say much else about that. All right, this guy, putting this guy. Oh fuck, where'd he go? Oh my god, I tried to put him in C and it went straight to garbage. I guess it's meant to be. He's trash. Sorry. You also trash. I'm sorry. You're gonna go right there. I'll put Amy Schumer above you. Jimmy Carr. We're putting him in A. I'm gonna put him right there. Yes, that's correct. Same thing with Daniel Tosh, going above Kevin Hart. Sorry. Alright, so now we're left with 3. You're going right there. Sorry, you're garbage, homie. But, you know what? You're going straight there. Sorry. Now we got Bernie Mac and Richard Pryor. Bernie Mac and Richard Pryor. Where do I want to place them? Now, to be fair to Richard Pryor, I only seen 2 of his specials. But I did see some more of Bernie Mac's stuff. I also grew up watching the Bernie Mac show. Like, he was like an uncle and stuff like that. It was actually hilarious. I'm going to put Bernie Mac. Shit, I might have to rearrange this list. Alright, I'm going to move Ricky Gervais down here. Sorry, Ricky Gervais. I'm gonna put Bernie Mac. Shit. Fuck. I don't know where to put Bernie Mac. I kind of want to give him an A, but I feel like he deserves an S. I don't know. I actually have no idea where to put Bernie Mac. I'm gonna put Richard Pryor in S class, even though I only seen a couple of his stand-up specials. But to my knowledge, he literally pioneered comedy to the way it is. So he, just off of that alone, he deserves S class. I'm giving Bernie Mac an A. I'm gonna put him above Daniel Tosh. All right, that's my list. So the only god tier is Chappelle. All right, and my reasoning behind that is, so before in order to, the way comedy is right now, it's filled with like edgy jokes and people saying pretty much whatever they want, and it's a level of humor that didn't exist before. You know, when I was growing up, you weren't allowed to curse on TV. You know, you weren't allowed to swear on TV. You weren't allowed to show any sort of nudity on TV. You weren't allowed to even make jokes about sex on TV. Richard Pryor, this is before when I was born, but Richard Pryor pretty much cracked the egg, or he cracked the shell of that. You know, he tried to create a new sense of humor that involved edgy, dark jokes and profanity and all that stuff. But before then, nobody was doing that because nobody was allowed to. You know, a lot of these guys on this list, including this guy right here, they had to be green. They had to have clean content or they couldn't make a living off of this at all. But Richard Pryor was one of those motherfuckers that was like, nah, I'm gonna do what I want. You know? And he paved the way for Eddie Murphy, for Chris Rock, and of course Dave Chappelle. Now the reason Dave Chappelle is above everybody else is because Dave Chappelle took his concept right here, took Richard Pryor's concept of reshaping what comedy is and what's allowed to be laughed at, and took it to a level that we've never seen before. Dave Chappelle, in my opinion, is easily the funniest man to ever live, or at the very least the funniest stand-up comedian ever. You know, Joey Diaz is, it's hard to say somebody is funnier than Joey Diaz, but when we're talking about just stand-up comedy alone, Joey Diaz is a hard argument to make, because he's funnier when he's just talking. When he's just talking, he's Chris Rock level. He's in between Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. You know, but when he's doing stand-up, he's not as funny as when he's just regularly talking. Andrew Schultz should be an S tat, and he should be an S, to be honest. He's on his way. He's very clearly on his way, but I just feel like it's too early. He gets an A for now. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about my list. Honestly, I already know I'm gonna get a lot of fucking hate for putting Bernie Mac in A. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for putting Aziz in trash. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this right here too. A lot of people really love Robin Williams. A lot of people really love, you know, Ellen, and you know, I keep forgetting this guy's name.